Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Rebecca McLaughlin-Duane, and this week we have a special edition bursting with art and artifacts to mark the one-year anniversary of Louvre Abu Dhabi. And we'll get a preview of the museum's exciting upcoming collections from the chairman of the Abu Dhabi Tourism and Culture Authority.
I will give you a little secret, actually, a little surprise. So we've just acquired an unbelievable piece.
Later in the show, we'll head to Tunisia, where break dancers are pushing for their urban dance form to be more broadly accepted in society. But first, Salim Essaid looks back at the milestones for the Louvre over the past 12 months and discovers how it's celebrating its first birthday.
The sequence of notes is generated by a modern artwork called Constellations, a creation by Emirati designer Salim El-Mansouri, who used statistics of visitors to the Louvre in Abu Dhabi during its first year to create a star map. With international travelers making up 60% of attendees, each cluster represents the countries they've mostly come from, and these unconventional stars twinkle to a unique melody.
You can look at the history of humanity through art. So this is why we wanted to concretely and explicitly use the visitors as the main component of the data visualization.
The Louvre in the UAE is commemorating its first anniversary with displays of historical and contemporary artworks, including pop-up performances of spoken word art, where poets recite works inspired by the artifacts that surround them. Last year, Abu Dhabi became a custodian of the Louvre brand for an estimated $525 million over 3 decades. During the past 12 months, the museum has housed hundreds of artworks from around the world, including international masterpieces like Vincent van Gogh's self-portrait from 1887, and the 2.5-meter sitting statue of the Egyptian pharaoh Ramses II, who reigned during the 13th century BC. Abu Dhabi's Louvre has held thousands of guided tours, masterclasses, and school trips for its residents to mark its first birthday and celebrate how far it's come, and to flag up the upcoming season. The museum is hosting a series of workshops and exhibitions dedicated to young minds, such as interactive displays allowing children to see how artists have used imagery to represent animals throughout different eras with real-life natural artifacts. There's also a modern Japanese manga or comic lab, teaching young art enthusiasts to express themselves, even on the walls.
This is probably something new that I could try, especially just basic drawing. And I've seen lots of this type of art from cartoons and everything like that, and I really like it.
And looking to the future are mixed reality glasses, allowing guests to step into a virtual world where they can view digital versions of relics of the past. Visitors to the Cyber Museum can touch and even rotate artifacts which are hundreds of thousands of years old, to encourage them to learn and connect with history in a futuristic way.
Located within the cultural district of Saadiyat Island, this museum opened 1 year ago as part of a 30-year agreement between the French government and Abu Dhabi. Since then, many priceless and revered works of art by modern and old masters have been displayed here in the Middle East for the very first time, which begs the question, what's coming next? Having met its targets of more than 1 million visitors in the first 12 months, to top that in year 2, curators at Louvre Abu Dhabi are pulling out the stops, adding to its 657 artworks with 11 acquisitions and 14 new loans of ancient and modern masterpieces from around the world. Inclusions to the museum's permanent collection include a Japanese samurai armor from the 18th century and an imposing medieval Buddhist sculpture from China. Another addition is the newly opened Roads to Arabia exhibition, showcasing antiquities and recent finds from the Arabian Peninsula. Sharing news of upcoming homegrown artworks and hints about priceless artifacts which haven't yet been revealed, the chairman of the Abu Dhabi Tourism and Culture Authority joined Inspire for a chat. Mohammed, thank you for hosting us here. A very warm welcome to Inspire.
Always great conservating with you.
Now, the Louvre is French in origin, but Emirati in essence. So how does it reflect the Emirati people, the culture, society here?
I think one and foremost is that this is built here in the United Arab Emirates, here in the city of Abu Dhabi. It was built with Emirati hands, built with Emirati intellect, At the same time, within the museum itself, you have obviously hints of the world. We have a Mrawah vase that dates back 7,000 years, and we have all the way to the contemporary art, a fantastic Hassan Sharif piece that is hanging in the Contemporary Art Gallery.
I'm intrigued. How do you encourage more Emiratis to be artists and also curators? And culturally, how is it viewed as a profession to go into the world of art?
The spaces within the museum, an aspect of creativity and opportunity for Emirati artists and international artists to create pieces, commissioned pieces for the museum and for the outskirts of the museum. So the opportunity is quite vast for Emirati artists here. Right just across the Louvre Abu Dhabi, we have Nar al-Saadiyat, which has a fantastic children's art center. And when people ask me what is the biggest benefit of the Louvre Abu Dhabi, I believe it is creating a cultured, educated future generation. I think this is the long-lasting impression the Louvre Abu Dhabi is going to leave.
Of the artworks that you have in the museum, from the Bronze Age right up to modern day, are you allowed to have favorites? Is there one artwork that you never tire of looking at?
From our collection, of course, I love the Mrawah vase. It speaks about the heritage and the history of the UAE, dating back 7,000 years. It shows the ingenuity, it shows the art aspect of it, it shows everything on how even the aspect of trade, so how open we were 7,000 years ago. From an international perspective, of course, I'm a big fan of David, the artist David, and we have a loan from some of our French partners it's a portrait of Napoleon, a very powerful portrait of Napoleon, and the way we have it displayed is beautiful. It's standing right in front of you. Going back to some of my favorite art artifacts that we have acquired, we have a beautiful Chinese dragon, bronze dragon, dating back to the 2nd century.
And of the masterpieces that are outgoing from the museum's maiden year, are there any that you particularly miss?
The Van Gogh. The Van Gogh is just so colorful and so powerful, and you can really spend hours just looking at it.
Now, in challenging economic times, and especially in this region with fluctuating oil prices, some governments are curbing back on their spending for the arts. Is that the case with Abu Dhabi?
Absolutely not. We have been extremely lucky with the leadership is focused on culture and art. So December 7th, we're opening the Cultural Foundation and, more importantly, the Qasr al-Husn Museum. So this will have everything from theater to music, art programs, art exhibitions, and I think one thing that we're adding that's going to be really special is a state-of-the-art large children's library. So this is really going to be a fantastic hub for culture that will ooze art.
Looking into your crystal ball 5, 10, 20 years down the line of the Louvre's history, what would be one dream artwork that you would love to own, one iconic global piece of art?
It's a tough question. There's how they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I will give you a little secret, actually, or a little surprise. So we've just acquired an unbelievable piece. I can't name it yet, so you'll have to wait for the unveiling, but it is a piece of ancient history.
We can't wait to find out more. Can I ask, is it from the region? Is it from North Africa, Egypt, perhaps?
All I can tell you, it's extremely special.
I can't wait to see it. Mohammed, thank you for speaking to me today.
Thank you for having me.
Breakdancing has taken almost a decade to be recognized as an emerging dance form by the Tunisian cultural authorities. But as Inez Mathlouthi reports, things are looking up for the so-called b-boys who are spinning the underground dance scene on its head.
These are not Madame Tussauds wax figures. These are living, breathing breakdancers performing a routine called freeze. Ala, a 30-year-old breakdancer and owner of the Urban Dance Academy in Tunis since 2017, won the Red Bull B-Boy Street Battle Tunisia 2011. Ala wants to give young breakdancers the chance to participate in a dance style barely known in the country 20 years ago.
When I start breakdancing in Monastir with my friends in the late 19s, I take the helmet of my father to practice the head spin and the windmill.
In the 90s, breakdancing in Tunisia was just for boys and was not recognized as art by the cultural authorities or society as a whole. But in 2011, it gained in popularity, and more than 20 dance academies have opened up since then, with multiple breakdance crews emerging all over the country. 7 years ago, Tunisia also, for the first time, hosted a smaller version of the Battle of the Year, with more than 150 breakers, including young women, dominating the stage.
Breakdancing is no more a boys' club. When I was young, we don't accept girls to dance with us. Maybe B-boys now they're champion. B-girl, they are stepping up more and more. Also, they are kicking it in the street of the Medina.
The narrow streets of the old Medina in Tunis have witnessed battles between B-girls and B-boys. 19-year-old B-girl Ranim and her crew, the Ninjas, gather every weekend with her friend Hoseb, a breaker and leader of the Adrenaline crew, to practice for big dance events.
My parents are still against me dancing in the street, but this is my life. Breakdancing is about a freedom to express myself and to prove that anybody else can dance. It's not just for boys, but I'm gonna be a champion one day.
Ranim has been the only girl in her crew for the past 5 years, and sometimes she faced discrimination during dance battles, but she's always had the support of her troupe.
We have no money for Dance Academy, and since the street is for free, then here we are.
We are a big family. It doesn't matter what you are or who you are. All it matters is how you move. Sometimes big girls just kill.
Well, that wraps up the show. We hope you've enjoyed this special edition from Abu Dhabi. Before I leave you, here are some art lovers sharing their passion on social media. Evan from the Philippines spent an animated afternoon at the Manga Lab in Louvre, Abu Dhabi. Habib from Syria was excited to visit the reopened Museum of Damascus, having fond memories of visiting there with his late grandfather. And Abdul Salam walked in the footsteps of pharaohs at Giza's Grand Egyptian Museum.